So I want to touch on this story, which, as I said, came to me through someone I know. And it's about a situation, one we have talked about in the past, where English parents here, for whatever reason, opt to send their child to a French school thinking they'll get a better education in French. And of course, you want your child to be able to speak French.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our next guest decided to do. And then it just kind of went off the rails at that point. We're only going to identify her, for example, as Lily right now. She is on the phone. Thank you for being here. And can you just start with the story? So as I understand it, you wanted to send your son, you wanted to enroll him in a French school. Now, this is a private school, right?
That's right. And thank you first and foremost, Aaron and Natasha, for having me on.
Not a problem. So tell us what happened at that point.
So essentially, I heard Natasha has an 11-year-old, so she's definitely been through the process of, finding the right fit in terms of what school, English, French for her child, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have.
did the same. So
it's a hard process.
We had a 2-year debate in my house. Me and my husband, should we go French? Should we go English? We both went to French. I was sort of leaning on the English side for whatever reason. He was leaning on the French side, and we said, you know what, we'll apply to both. So we found the school that suited what, we thought our needs would be for our son. And we found this lovely French school, which was similar to a school that I attended. So I felt comfortable with, the structure that they go by and the facilities, et cetera. And we followed the process, which was, apply 2 years in advance and send a recommendation letter on behalf of your 2-year-old at the time, and attend the open house and go for an interview and go, the whole bit. So upon our first interview, they take the kids into a group setting. They observe them, not sure what they're expecting them to do. And then we hear back from them a couple weeks later, at which point they tell you whether you've been accepted or not. So we get the email that we're waiting for, and it says, congratulations, you've been accepted. However, there's like an asterisk saying that you've been conditionally accepted because your son doesn't demonstrate the capability of speaking to the level that we'd like him to speak to enter kindergarten. And just for the record, I was listening earlier. I'm not an angry phone complaining. I'm perfectly bilingual. On peut faire toute cette entrevue conversation en français. Je parle parfaitement le français, so it's not a matter of an angry phone situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a little bit absurd that they're expecting these 4-year-olds to speak a certain way. So I took it with a grain of salt. The acceptance letter came with a list of recommendations on how to enhance or expose the child to more French, which we took. We started reading books in French at night. My husband spoke English, I spoke French. So we did our part on our end. And then went back for what they call atelier d'observation, which was the second round of, interviews or observation sessions. At which point, to be honest, we had, another interview lined up at another French school. That was our second choice, and we canceled that because we said, okay, we're in. I didn't think we were never not going to be in. And then so we went to the second round of interviews and left. And the next day, I get an email that says, actually, we're going to cancel your acceptance. We're going to send you your money back because your son's capability is not, to the level that we deem appropriate for him to enter kindergarten in this facility.
What?
So at age 4, your child, because they deemed him not to speak French well enough, could not get into a French school.
Correct.
Have they ever met
crazy.
any kids before? Because
I mean, you obviously don't know me, but I'm a persistent human. So I asked for a call immediately with la direction. And I sort of just said to them, I'm just confused because I don't, first of all, put yourself in the 4-year-old situation, right? So he's removed from his parents, an environment that's not familiar to him, expected to, dance on his head for these strangers. So, that in itself is a little bit absurd. But I said, I just want to understand, just so I can learn your process, because I am familiar with, a couple families that go there that are Anglophone, way less Francophone than I am, and their kids have succeeded by being immersed in a French environment. And she was sort of shocked at my level of, French capability. And I said, well, just for the record, I went to French school, and that's why I'm perfectly bilingual, which is what I want to extend to my son. I think it's a benefit and a gift for children to be bilingual.
And all that went for naught because no one changed their mind.
No, zero.
And so
it was like talking to a wall.
Yeah.
It was, this is what it is. La décision a été prise. They were trying to tell me that in certain cases, children, Anglophone children that are immersed into a French setting don't succeed. And I said, well, again, who are you to judge that my son won't succeed?
That's not true.
You're not even giving him a chance. He hasn't even set foot into the premises. And I said, I'm not calling you because I want to attend this school, because to be honest, I don't want to be anywhere where my son's not wanted. But I said, I'm the perfect example of an Anglophone family trying to, go by the rules and protecting the language. And
this
making
is
sure
what
their
happens.
son,
Yeah. All right. Listen,
I'm essentially canceled.
We're going to run out of. We are at a time. So where this ended with that interview, when you found out they weren't going to listen to you one way or the other, no matter how much you complained or tried to argue with them.
Correct.
So what happened in the end? You went and sent up your son to an English school.
Your son's going to English school.
He
after
will
all
be
this.
going to English school.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, look, I'm glad we were able to at least sort of broadcast this, because I think a lot of people would be there shaking their heads. What's the point of sending your child to a French school to learn French, to become bilingual, and then being told at age 4, I'm sorry, he's not bilingual, he's not French enough?
I have to just say, I think it's a good thing he's not going to that school.
I mean, I agree, and I don't want him anywhere, we're not wanted.
Yeah,
it's just
sure.
the whole concept is absurd.
It is
It's
outrageous.
not like he was going to medical school.
Exactly.
He's
And,
going to kindergarten,
children
for
are like
God's sake.
sponges, right? You put them into a setting and they immerse themselves.
Yeah, if
Now,
they don't know
did you
that,
think to put him in a French program in an English school now? Is that where he's going to go?
Well, no, because, don't get me started on that. We don't have eligibility, so we don't have access to an immersion program. So he has to either go to a fully, all English schools do, adapt French for 50-70% of the time, but it's not the same, obviously.
Listen, thank you for sharing the story. Maybe this
Thanks for
open a
having
few
me.
eyes out there. And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Isn't that
I can't
crazy?
believe it. I can't believe
Age
it.
4. Can't get into a French school. French's not good enough to get into a French school. So
I
you
want
could learn
Francois
French.
Legault to hear this story.